This is Ola Man of Prestige, your favorite relationship and marriage coach. If you enjoyed this, smash that like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs it. Be a part of the Prestige family. My wife Lola and I have written 2 powerful books, Get My Marriage Back and Number One Red Flag. Yours free at manofprestige.com. For personal coaching, send me a WhatsApp request for consultation to +17323058577. Stay tuned for more. Your journey to love and prestige starts here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Do me a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. Happy Sunday to you. Happy New Year again. We're just going to hit the ground running. We have a story here. All right, great. We're just going to hit the ground running, as I was saying. And we have a comment reaction. We're going to start with a comment reaction. This is what unallies women in unhealthy marriages. Somebody left a comment, and I'm going to read it. We're going to talk about it and see if we can get some more lessons as to continue. As you know, the story really never ends. We have to keep going. We have to keep learning. That's how it goes. So this is what unallies women. This is about May and Yul Edochie. So I did a session last time we talked about, and I think I made a comment about we don't know what happened in that marriage. Happy New Year, babe Wins. Good to see you, babe Wins. Good to see you. Happy New Year. Welcome back. So I think I make a comment about we don't know what happened in that marriage, and it didn't sit well with, I'm guessing it's a lot more than one person, but somebody was courageous enough to leave a comment. So I figure we should talk about this. I'm going to read the comment and then I'll answer her question. She said, Man of Prestige, why and how does it matter that we do not know what happened in the marriage? We're talking about Yul and May Edochie's marriage. You might even ask, what does it matter? Why are we talking about this? Well, they're public figures, and since none of you will tell us your full stories in public, we might as well just see if we can extract lessons out of this. She said, what does it matter if we do not know what happened in the marriage? Well, it matters because it allows you to apply grace more than you would normally or usually apply. So that's the first answer to this. She said, whatever happened in the marriage, does it justify his own refusal to let May go? Why does he not sign the papers and free her due to what happened in the marriage? He/men cannot have it both ways. So this person is talking to the gender men. This person is probably a gender warrior, which is not a crime. Most people are gender warriors these days, but it's the same reason why most people are ending up in divorce. When I say most or divorce, take it with a pinch of salt. I mean, unhealthy relationships. Let's just take it that way. If something happened in the marriage, that is fine. Then act consistently. Do not beg the woman to stay. I know. Why did he beg publicly and privately? What does that say about this sweeping statement you want to make as an excuse for bad behavior from men? Well, speaking of sweeping statements, we'll get back to that. Surely we do not know all that happens in a marriage, but not knowing does not nullify the fact that his behavior is consistent with something have happened. Okay. Why use power and influence to keep her chained in the marriage? She openly said she does not want any more. So does her voice. Does her voice matter? I guess that's a question. What is the relevance of this? No one knows what happens in marriage in this context. Let me repeat, just so that we can be self-aware and apply a little bit more grace when we normally would not do that. We normally will see the side from the side of our brain that works, right? Usually from the side where you can relate with the most, and then you pick a side and the other person is just the enemy, right? That's all of us behave that same way. But we also know that you're probably not going to benefit the most from that angle because everybody does the same thing, but there's only a few winners where most people are losers when it comes to relationships. So we want to make sure that we're following on the right side of this. So we need to be coming down with the judgmental, whatever, like anything remotely close to it. I'm not saying you're judging, but anything remotely close to it, we just want to make sure we are assessing, making sure, right, which is never perfect, right, making sure that we're always assessing from a place of grace. It's very important. Very important. That's the point. So she said, even if we do not know what happened in the marriage, we know that May wants out. Judge on the man's behavior and the second woman's. It is obvious that no one would want to stay with such characters daily. Well, they want to stay with each other, and it seems like a lot of people in the public don't like that, right? I wonder why. I think I know why. It's because they're the enemy, right? Set her free. He must do the right thing and let her go. He cannot have it both ways. This is what unalives women in unhealthy marriages. Now, when she says, I don't know if it's a she or he, shout out to Hopes Esperanza 2867. I don't know if it's a he or she, but this is my guess is as good as yours. It's probably a woman. This is what unalives women in unhealthy marriages. And what is this that unalives women in unhealthy marriages? What is it that unalives? And why are we going so far? Why are we so quick to go towards the direction of unalive? The reality is that yes, some people do unalive in marriages. You notice I said people, not just women, right? And this is one too many of those kind of cases happening. We don't want that happening, regardless of what side of the gender, right? So usually when that happens, that's too late. She says, set her free. He must do the right thing and let her go. He cannot have it both ways. This is what unalives women in unhealthy marriages. The topic was more so about this topic that I covered was more so about how she was celebrating, how Judy Austin was celebrating a newfound husband that she said she would have found him and loved him sooner, right? She's basically saying that's the best thing that happened to her. I'm sorry, it's not every time we cover this story that we will cry and be quote unquote holding Yul Edochie and Judy accountable. I'm sorry, no, there are other lessons inside of this story than this, right? And we need to start paying attention to that. So the lesson here, the lesson that I really wanted to highlight today is simple, okay? Push against yourself, all right? Because it's very clear that this person said, judge on the man's behavior. Unfortunately, I don't judge, okay? I try not to. Actually, I do, because I'm a human being like you, right? But I try not to. The easy thing for me to do is judge. I want to try something a little bit more difficult, something a little bit harder, right? Like assessing things beyond what is right and what is wrong. When you cheat on your wife or your husband, it is wrong. There's no need for me and you to argue back and forth about that, okay? And polygamy is not wrong by itself. How you execute polygamy can be wrong. Polygamy has a lot of downsides, right? If a person cannot manage one wife, there's a good chance they will suck at managing more than one wife, right? So me and you kind of agree on that. That's easy. For me and you to agree, that's easy. The harder thing for me and you to do is to sometimes disagree, right? Or to rub minds together and say, hey, what can we learn from this beyond the obvious stuff? What can we learn from this, right? I know it is super difficult to find yourself learning from behavior from someone like Judy Austin. What is there to learn? What is there? God forbid bad thing. Somebody was trying to talk about Trump yesterday. Say, I don't want to act like okay, because I understand. But again, the key thing here to answer your question, why is it so important that we need to highlight that we do not know what happened in that marriage is very important so that you can apply humility and grace when you're judging other people. Okay, it is super important. That's what I wanted to extract out of this today. Do me a favor, I shall comment in, hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. I'll be right back. Leave me your comments. I love the comment. Leave me your comments, okay? This is Ola, Man of Prestige, your favorite relationship and marriage coach. If you enjoyed this, smash that like subscribe, and share it with someone who needs it. Be a part of the Prestige family. My wife Lola and I have written 2 powerful books, Get My Marriage Back and #1 Red Flag, yours free at manofprestige.com. For personal coaching, send me a WhatsApp request for consultation to +1 732 305 8577. Stay tuned for more. Your journey to love and prestige starts here.
Nothing. Come again, please. Wait.
Action. Use brush cleaner.
Wait,
Marriage is beautiful. Marriage is beautiful. Marriage is sweet. Don't allow mad people to tell you or convince you that marriage is not good. Okay. Don't go and marry Onyala. Don't go and marry an Eflef man. Don't go and marry Onyori. Don't go and marry Ndarala Nampo. That's it. You know. So when you marry a good man and your friend, but if you don't see your friend, still marry your friend. When you marry a good man, you know that marriage is beautiful, right, baby? How did you know? You know. So marriage is actually beautiful.
So I use the how do you know?
Yeah, no. Because I'm married. Okay. I've married. We've been married for 5 years. Hey, but it's not easy. But that's why you need to marry somebody.
It's not easy. See this person wait there here. It's not easy. Man. Let's snap. Wait first. Let's snap. I'll talk. Where's the picture? No, now you sit down for chair now, not be grand. No. For that apartment. Where was it? Not chair.
All right, welcome back.
I love this one. Aww.
The persons you're looking at on the screen are Anita, Joseph, and a guy called MC Fish. Okay, I guess the question is, who is the gold digger? They've been accusing. Well, the guy came out finally to start dragging. You might wonder, who is she? I guess she's an actress. My wife follows all the actors, but somehow she doesn't know too much about this lady, but the whole world knows about them now. So, but the whole world is talking about them. But there's a news here. I'm looking at this on PM News. It says, "Stop dragging me." Anita Joseph reacts to ex-husband's claim. As a matter of fact, people said he wasn't talking for a long time, But really, what I want us to address here is marriage and social media. Modern marriage and social media is what I want us to really talk about here. Modern marriage and social media. But let me read this first. It says, Nollywood actress Anita Joseph has reacted to the claims made by her ex-husband, MC Fish. The actress on her Instagram post responded to the hype man who claimed that the actress was the one who make advances at him or make. Okay, I don't know. Anita urged her estranged husband to leave her out of controversial issues, announcing that she wants to be focused on her growth in 2026. The actress also revealed that she will not be trading words with the hype man, stating that she does not want to run in the mud with him. And I quote, "I don't want to run in the mud with you. Please, this is a new year, 2026. Happy New Year. If you have whatever you want to say, please say it now. And let me get on with my life. I don't know who you're fighting with online, but please leave me out of whatever you're fighting. This new year is growth and all positivity for me. Stop dragging me back to your mess," she stated. All right, so some other stuff I've seen. They said the marriage between Hollywood actress Anita Joseph and her husband, Michael Fisayo, better known as MC Fish, was long considered one of the most publicly affectionate. As you can see in that video, they were having a photo shoot and she's talking about marriage is beautiful. And wow, it's so interesting how things can flip so quick, so badly. Evelyn says, so what changed between these two? It's a good question. What changed between the two? So I think they got married. They had like what they call the power couple era, something that went as far back as February 2020. They said the couple officially tied the knot in a private ceremony. They had a lot of public display of affection. They became famous and even sometimes criticized. The internet sometimes they they feel funny when the couple seems too happy, because they are more so used to basketballs like what they're doing right now. So they became famous and even criticized for their frequent public displays of affection. MC Fish once went viral for admitting he washes his wife's underwear, his wife's pata, defending it as a sign of love. And they said for years they portrayed a united front, often shutting down trolls who claimed the marriage wouldn't last due to their age difference or Anita's bold personality. Well, Anita is 41 years old. This young man seems like he might be around 21 or 22. I don't know. You see how easy that is? I'm okay with saying I don't know. I can make my wild guess, but I identify them quickly as a guess. My guess is around 22, 23, maybe 19, all legal ages, okay? I'm not going to guess that it's less than a legal age, okay? I'm going to guess that it's 18 and above. She's 41. I don't know. I really don't know. See how easy it is? I don't know what I don't know. Yes, I'm being funny, okay, with the person who left the comment about Yul Edochie. All right, so they're saying that they used to be, oh, God when. That's what they're saying. Anyway, late 2024 to 2025, and then there starts to be some kind of crack. They said towards the end of 2025, gossip blogs began reporting that that there was fire on the mountain. And rumors circulated involving infidelity, substance abuse, domestic violence, and there were also unconfirmed reports that the couple had endured the loss of 2 pregnancies, a miscarriage, unfortunately, a stillbirth during their turbulent times, okay? And there's also reports surfacing that a particular person, a filmmaker, Stanley On Top, that was saying that MC Fish had basically dumped her for another woman, and that Anita had subsequently thrown his belongings out in the streets, okay? But I think there was a acceleration of their drama online in the last month or so. He said Anita addressed the rumors for the first time on Instagram, and she confirmed there was a split, walking through a season, and I quote, walking through a season of deep reflection, and would tell her story later on. Not now. Okay, so and then later on, Anita also she had like what they call the glam session, photo shoots, all that kind of stuff, and people were wondering like, where are you? Some people were saying that about what's their name, Bam Bam and Teddy. Say, why were you not taking the pajama pictures together, monitoring spirit? I think I've seen also another post somewhere where they said the people were, she was talking like she was throwing like shade at Womb Watcher, but the internet's not, if you're a public figure, you're a public figure, So anyway, eventually, somewhere just days before Christmas, she posted something, and I quote, calling a spade a spade. My marriage is over. She described the period as one of, and I quote, deep pain and healing. Deep pain and healing. Wow. That's sad. It's always sad to see this happen, right? She did not specify why. Okay. And then she eventually came again. She said, single but not searching. Are you sure? Don't crash my phone. Okay, like stop crashing my phone. She said, don't come into my DMs. These people. This is how I feel about that.
Stop the cap.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap. Good day to you, that nigga bills 718. Good day to you. Good day. Let's see. So anyway, as of yesterday, MC Fish is now talking for the first time. January 3rd, 2026. He denied being a gold digger. He said he's not a gold digger. Okay, he said it was the manager. It was a manager. It was a PA. He had his own career. Because the young man, he said, hey, keep me out of the bullshit. You know, she was toasting me. She alleged that Anita was the one who approached and wooed him. All right, I'm not sure how that matters. Okay, what does that matter, right? Well, she approached me, so it's not my fault, right? What are they talking about again exactly? They're not telling us what happened. We don't know what happened. What I can tell you is that social media is the problem. Hey, Marriott, good to see you. Social media is at fault here. Why am I saying social media? Because there's no way to blame social media. Okay, at least you can agree. Right? That social media is not a person. It's a tool. It's a double-edged sword that if you don't know what you're doing, you will end up blaming somebody. Because you can't blame social media. So who do you think you're going to blame? You will end up blaming your significant other. If you don't gather yourself, if you don't correct yourself, if you don't have some self-awareness around the greatest tool ever, social media, okay? If you don't know how to edify yourselves or selves, right? You're probably going to use it to castigate. You're probably going to use it to assassinate your own characters, your person's character. And no, it's not that you're crazy. There will be events that will happen. Things will happen in your lives. It might be finances. It might be growing apart. You know, just you don't know how to handle conflicts. It might be your mother-in-law, your father-in-law, your in-laws. It might be your career, right? You're spending too much time away from home. I need quality time. I need some more ta-ta-ta, right? Yeah, you know, physical touch. You knew physical touch. You know what will happen if you don't really gain some level of self-awareness, emotional intelligence. You know what will happen? Yeah, you will start paying attention to what other people are saying on the internet. You will end up in an echo chamber where everybody's agreeing with each other, and you will go back home and judge your partner. And if you do it enough times, by the way, there are more than enough events. They're not perfect, right? So they would have done something that you can judge them for, and then yourself, you go collect. You will basically destroy the relationship with your own hands. No, I'm not blaming you. I promise you, I'm not blaming you. I know you want me to judge the other person. Sorry. I'm just telling you what will actually happen. You'll be right, but you will destroy that relationship. But when you get out there, you will notice that everybody has one or two things they're dealing with too. Nobody's life is perfect. But you guys know these people's story probably better than me. I just wanted to really highlight the social media and marriage thing. It's a special type of dynamic that you have to learn how to manage if you're inside of a modern marriage. Do me a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. Let's move on to some other stories around the world. I'll be right back. This is Ola, Man of Prestige, your favorite relationship and marriage coach. If you enjoyed this, smash that like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs it. Be a part of the Prestige family. My wife Lola and I have written 2 powerful books, Get My Marriage Back and Number 1 Red Flag. Yours free at manofprestige.com. For personal coaching, send me a WhatsApp request for consultation to +1 732 305 8577. Stay tuned for more. Your journey to love and prestige starts here.
And we put to bed 2 baby boys, and I refused to take care of those children. Me and my sisters, we cater for those children. They are grown now, and up till date is not taking care of those children. So I said, let me come out so that you people will also help me. All me and my sisters want is for him to start taking care of those children, and also maybe do a DNA test because those children resemble him. That is my story.
We are calling upon you to do proper investigation and questioning on this case. And if Chris Okafor is the rightful father of this child, we are calling him to take responsibility of the child.
Now, wow.
3 sisters we got pregnant for him, and we put to bed to baby boys, and he refused to take care of those children. Me and my sisters, we cater for those children. They are grown now, and up till date, he's not taking care of those children. So I said, let me come out so that you people will also help me. All we want, all me and my sisters want, is for him to start taking care of those children, and also maybe do a DNA test, because those children resemble him. That is my story.
We are calling upon you to do proper investigation and questioning on this case. And if Chris Okafor is the rightful father of this child, we are calling him to take responsibility of the child.
Wow! Shout out to Auntie Adoni. Shout out to let me just say this guy's story, Chris Okafor. I don't know where to start from. The story started going viral when I was on a little break, and I don't know where to start from. I don't know where we're going with this. What I can tell you is to kind of like start updating you guys on what's going on. Anyway, as published just about 12 minutes ago by thecable.com, Chris Okafor, just so you know, he's a pastor out of Nigeria who was just found out. It's a bunch of alleged babies everywhere. Alleged babies. Multiple babies for the last 20 years. Multiple women. And this guy was leading a church. A lot of people were following him. He was leading a church. Okay. A very important church that has those fair share of scandals. But anyway, let me read this report to you. It says the Lagos State Police Command has ordered a formal criminal investigations into sexual and murder allegation alleged against Chris Okafor, the founder of Grace Nation Ministry. The directive follows days of escalating public outrage fueled by a series of sexual and murder allegations circulating on social media. If you recall, Doris Ogala came out and started saying you cannot go and marry, because the guy said he wanted to marry some new Olu alleged tutu that he just found. And then this other lady, Doris Ogala, said, well, are you going to leave me? And then everything scattered everywhere, you know. So the controversy, I'm continuing the article on the cable.ng, said the controversy deepened recently when a podcaster, Car Truth, published messages from an individual claiming to have been hired by Okafor for criminal acts. The anonymous source, who stated he is currently in hiding in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, alleged he carried out murders on the clergyman's behalf. Okay, so they say he hired hitmen and them. He further claimed Okafor still owed him 7 million naira for a job and offered to lead law enforcement to concealed evidence. The individual also stated one of his associates is already imprisoned for related crimes. The claims intersect with separate allegations made earlier by actress Doris Ogala. Ogala accused Okafor of having knowledge about the poisoning and death of her brother, claiming she possesses evidence to support her claim. Confirming the investigation, the cable lifestyle Abimbola Adebisi, the police spokesperson, said Olorun Dare Jibo, the Lagos Police Commissioner, has directed the State Criminal Investigation Department in Panti to probe all allegations against the cleric. And I quote, good evening, the CP has now directed all allegations be investigated, she said. We're calling on witnesses with credible information to come forward. As for now, we do not have complainants yet. If it is murder related, you cannot just look away. I informed the CP, and the CP directed that the state CID should look into it. The current storm of allegations marks a new chapter in the prolonged period of controversy for Okafor, who is battling the bitter public dispute with Ogala, not just Ogala, by the way, with one of his daughters, Chidera, with who else? With very dark man. Well, with what's the other name of the other girl? There's a girl who came out with on Auntie Adoni's platform as well, but just a big old mess, you know. So now it's being investigated by the state CID. That's what they say. Ogala alleges she had been in a romantic relationship with Okafor since 2017. The conflict erupted weeks ago after a video of the pastor's engagement to Pearl Okafor surfaced online. That's his new wife. Okay. Ogala later issued an ultimatum demanding that Okafor either marry her or compensate her financially, escalating to a demand of 1 billion naira in damages over breach of promise. Breach of promise. Despite the threats and outbursts, Okafor got married to Pearl in white and traditional wedding ceremonies. He has not enjoyed his wedding since then. Well, until like yesterday, I'll tell you more about that. However, days later, he publicly knelt and apologized to Ogala, acknowledging the truth of her claims regarding their past relationship. Besem, the ex-wife of Okafor, recently recounted marrying him at 18, a traditional wedding that produced 4 children. She said she left the marriage 14 years ago due to what she described as his immorality, citing alleged affairs. The clergyman recently stepped down from ministerial duties for the entire month of January to focus on his marriage. That's what I was about to talk about. So he's saying that he's stepping down. He said he hasn't done honeymoon. He's going to take some time off. He said the whole of January. But do you think he's going to have peace of mind? Forget that thing. It's not going to happen. So right now he's probably trying to, I don't know if he's trying to run away or I don't know if he's going to run away, but he's probably looking for ways that he can escape all of this. But let me know what your thoughts are about Pastor Chris. Pastor Chris, for me, I've seen this kind of stuff before, maybe not at this magnitude though, but I've seen this kind of stuff before, and pastors, doing, committing crime all in the name of Christ, Jesus, and God. We've seen this kind of stuff before. They are the most judgmental when they're on those pulpits. They've trained people to be super judgmental. They influence a lot of people, especially in a society like Nigeria, where hunger and basic amenities and just regular things that we call regular in the Western world is not available. People tend to seek answers in the wrong, and charlatans will continue to take advantage of that. What can we do about it? Work on yourself. Work on this. Work on that. If you don't, the enemy is always lurking around, looking to destroy. Guess what is going to destroy? It's not that thing you're thinking about. It starts from here, your mindset. That's the first thing he needs to capture. It captures the mind, and then the rest is small, easy. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. I'll be right back. This is Ola, Man of Prestige, your favorite relationship and marriage coach. If you enjoyed this, smash that like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs it. Be a part of the Prestige family. My wife Lola and I have written 2 powerful books, Get My Marriage Back and Number 1 Red Flag. Yours free at manofprestige.com. For personal coaching, send me a WhatsApp request for consultation to +1 732 305 8577. Stay tuned for more. Your journey to love and prestige starts here.
I needed to deal with it head on because the other day the internet went crazy about a dress my wife had on. Now, they didn't say anything about the $4 million that was raised for the United Negro College Fund. They never mentioned that she prayed until heaven came down. They never said anything about this was the largest fundraiser for HBCUs in the country. But insecure, jealous, petty, small-minded people got in their feelings and set up a false barometer of holiness based off of a dress. Now you got to help some people because some people have embraced the full knowledge of ignorance without any assistance for understanding. The dress was not see-through. The dress was flesh color. But because you ain't never been nowhere and ain't never been exposed to nothing, furthermore, I needed to set the record straight Y'all don't like this. I need to set the record straight. I bought the dress. And I like it. I don't care whether you like it or not. She ain't married to y'all. She married to me. Now, if you wanted a first lady that looked like Little House on the Prairie and Holly Hobbie, you got the wrong church. I wanted a wife I would rush home to, that I wanted to be excited to see. When we walked in there, I said, shake it fast, watch yourself. If you don't have nobody that you excited about, trade that booger in and find you somebody that Negroes can talk about. How did you bag that? Let me say to you, I'm a public servant. I've been a public servant my whole life. I don't mind, nor am I offended, nor am I moved if you talk about me. Have at it. But you ain't gonna talk about my wife. Y'all ain't saying nothing to me. The same way you respect me, you gonna have to respect her. And if you don't respect her, find you somewhere else to go. Y'all ain't saying nothing to me, but you ain't gonna be in my face and dishonor my wife. Y'all ain't saying nothing. I need some people that will fight for yours, that will stand for yours, that will demand respect for yours.
Wow. So that's Pastor Jamal Bryant. Pastor Jamal Bryant is a pastor, or is the pastor of New Birth Church, the church that used to belong to Pastor Eddie Long. Remember Pastor Eddie Long? Oh my God, that's a long time ago. The guy that passed away after a bunch of scandals. Well, anyway, Pastor Jamal Bryant is a 54-year-old young American minister who has had his fair share, honestly, of scandals. So there are two things I'm looking at here. There are a couple of things. Let me see what Gigi Money. Let me read your comment. Gigi Money says, I applaud him for standing up for his wife. Okay. He says, I applaud him for standing up for his wife. That's it. That's all. I hope the church will not chastise girls in his church if and when they choose to dress like, hey, you want to keep the same energy. You want the girls to start dressing like that. Okay. Well, I don't think Jamal Bryant will have issues with that. I mean, he's already made his stance. No, there's been in recent times. I follow Kirk Franklin quite a bit on social media, and he's also had his fair share of people judging him. As you know, anything that seems judgmental, I start to look at it sideways. It doesn't mean it's wrong. I'm not going by wrong. I just think it's not wise to always, if you don't pay attention, that you notice that you always come from a judgmental standpoint, you're going to miss out on life in general. Okay, because even the scriptures itself talks about the same measure that you judge, and who is measuring, right? It's not you that will measure. You see, you're thinking I'm not judging, but it's not you that will do the measurement. It's other people. It's how they receive your judgmental behavior that will be the measure, and they will reciprocate. And so you're going to end up in a place where you will just always be arguing, like, that's not exactly judgmental. I was just telling the truth. We're just truth teller. Let's just call it spade a spade. Let's call it what it is. Okay, hold them accountable. Yeah, that's a loser's battle, especially when we're talking about strangers. But besides that, two things. Okay, two things. It's either that they are getting attention from this and they love the attention and they like the cloud that comes from it, or he means what it means. It says what it says, or it's conforming to the world. And conforming to the world when it comes to Christianity is a big topic, right? But it's also a subjective thing. Other people's opinion might differ from yours in terms of what exactly are we talking about when it comes to subjecting, or when it comes to what exactly is conforming. At what stage does it become conforming to the world, or it's just being social, or maybe you're just being socially fashionable, like you drink socially. At what point do you cross the line that you become off the world? This is a moving target, right? It's a moving target. It's not always a simple thing. So I personally choose not to judge. So I'll tell you this. For me, even if I acknowledge that my wife was wrong, I would defend my wife. If you come for my wife, call it what it is. It's not just a wife thing. It's called loyalty. I think that's much more valuable than quote unquote, let's just tell the truth. I think, yes, in the grand scheme of things, see, it's not that hard for us to tell the truth. We know what the truth is. And most people that claim they want to tell us the truth, they're just looking for a place where they can preach to the choir. We know what the truth is. We know you're right. We know what is right and wrong. But you know what most people struggle with? Social intelligence, social skills, learning when to back off and when to step in, learning when to say 3 step forward, 2 step backward. That's very difficult for people. And when you're moral, people don't know how to talk in general. I'm just talking generally right now. So for me personally, I'm all for it that he's defending his wife. But it's a little small caveat. There's certain things for certain places, certain things for certain environments, right? There's just the same way you show up to work and you dress a certain way. If somebody said the way you're dressed is not for work, that's not judgmental. It's just not the right outfit for the right place. So I'm gonna leave you guys with this one right here. Let's look at it. What do you think about the dress? He called it is the color of the flesh. Well, we call it nude color. Right? We call it nude color in the world, right? What do you guys think about it? Is she dressed right as a pastor's office, as a first lady, right? Is she looks good, you know? She said, "Oh, it's the nude color, it's the color of the flesh." But hey, we can't tell from outside. Some of us that know, we know. He's right that those of you that have stepped outside, you've been outside of your village, you know that this is called nude color, and it's probably not her skin. But you're giving some type of illusion here, and why is that necessary? So I'm not gonna all the way say they're wrong for questioning it again. There's certain dress that belongs to certain arenas, right? And we should pay attention. If we can do that at a place of work, I think for a pastor's wife, like if my pastor sits on the internet and is sipping on and smoking weed and say, "I'm a pastor, there's nothing wrong with weed." Well, I'm not saying God has a problem with it. I have a problem with it. I have a problem with that. So there's certain dressing for certain places. It looks like they were out to dinner. They were not really in church, but they will be judged. They should also manage their expectations. That's the way life is. So they will be judged. But for how long? Should they care? I don't think they should care either. Yes, I would defend my wife, even when she's wrong. I'm telling you right now, I'm not just defending my wife. Even when she's wrong, if you come for us, we're going to fight you. We're going to fight you with everything. That's how you keep a home together. You know what some men will do? Say, "No, let's just call it spade. Babe, I told you not to wear that." See, you're dumb. Now your wife is your enemy, and you're picking the wrong people to be on your team. They don't care. At the end of the day, they don't care. They just want to judge. All they care about is they don't care about you. I hope you know this and know peace. I do think she looks good. I love the dress on her. It's a little over the top, but is appropriate for the setting, perhaps. But she's also a first lady. Hey, we just let people do what they do. You know, I personally am pushing against everything judgmental, but I also get where the church is coming from in terms of being the first lady. You know, but times are changing. You know, should we conform? No, you don't, but just know that the world will conform. So manage your own expectations around other people's life. Do me a favor, let me know what your thoughts are about this. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. We have some other trendy stories around the world. We will be right back. This is Ola Man of Prestige, your favorite relationship and marriage coach. If you enjoyed this, smash that like subscribe, and share it with someone who needs it. Be a part of the Prestige family. My wife Lola and I have written 2 powerful books, Get My Marriage Back and Number One Red Flag, yours free at manofprestige.com. For personal coaching, send me a WhatsApp request for consultation to +1 732 305 8577. Stay tuned for more. Your journey to love and prestige starts here.
Game of put a finger down. Put a finger down if you met a man last year and he was just the best man.
Let me turn down the music. Looks like that video is low.
He was so intentional. He was so sweet. He was so thoughtful. He moved with purpose. He knew what he wanted, and he didn't play about you. Hey y'all, let's play a game of put a finger down. Put a finger down if you met a man last year and he was just the best man in the world, or at least you thought he was. He was so intentional. He was so sweet. He was so thoughtful. He moved with purpose. He knew what he wanted, and he didn't play about you. You all dated for 9 months, and he asked you to marry him in April. Put a finger down if he announced your engagement in front of his entire congregation on Easter. Put a finger down if 2-3 days go by and you find out that your fiance had been cheating on you for about a good length of your relationship. Not only had he been cheating on you, but he was cheating on you with a member of the church. He also had another relationship with another woman from the church, but it wasn't sexual. Didn't find this information out until after you all were engaged. You were livid, you were furious, you gave the ring back, you called off the engagement, you called off the wedding that you were planning, you canceled the dress that you ordered, all of this stuff. This man begged and pleaded and begged and pleaded and begged and pleaded and begged and pleaded for your forgiveness. After some time and work and like all of this stuff, and you making demands, and he met those demands, you thought to yourself, okay, like I asked him to do X, Y, and Z, he did them, he is serious. You decide that you want to work on this relationship and that you want to be in a relationship with him and all this other stuff. So you decide still to move to Minneapolis, uproot you and your son, leave your job behind, leave your family and your friends, and you come here to be this man's wife. You all get married and everything seems to be okay. You all have like little knickknacks, there's everything that you go through like as marriages do, but you all are still very intentional with wanting to be together. You get married in August, you go to Italy for your honeymoon in August, and you get pregnant the first day of your honeymoon. Surprise, I am 13 weeks pregnant. You all get into an altercation in October. You decide that you are going to go ahead and take some time apart, so you go home for a week. You go home, and that's when you actually found out that you were pregnant. You end up coming back to Minneapolis. You all are working everything out, trying to at least, and then surprise, he moved out. He got an apartment. Thanksgiving comes around and he's back at the house. He still has his apartment, but he's been home every single day playing house. We've been eating together as a family. He's been taking your son to school. He's been coming back home in the evenings. He's been sleeping here. Like everything's been fine. Then last Saturday, you all get into an argument over a napkin. You get into an argument over a napkin, and he decides that he is going to leave. And you tell him, look, you're married. You can't keep leaving every single time you get upset. Married people don't have second residences. He decides to leave anyway. So you text him, you let him know that this is the last time that he will be able to walk out on you, your son, and your unborn child. You go to church that next day. Everything is fine. I mean, you are saving face. You're speaking to everyone. You're smiling. After church, you go up to your husband and tell him how great of a job that he preached, and that you asked him if he wanted to go get some brunch afterwards, or like what his plans were, and he said that he had a headache and he was gonna go lay down. So I said, okay. So my son, we go to brunch with a friend, and we come back and your husband is not here. Sunday evening, you try to get in contact with your husband, and he still doesn't answer the phone. Monday comes around and you are sitting on the couch, folding clothes, doing laundry, and watching the P. Diddy documentary. The doorbell rings. You think that it is a package that your stepmom sent you all for Christmas. So you're not in a rush to answer the door because delivery people are going to sit it down. The doorbell rings again, so you get up because you are naked on the couch trying to fold laundry because the only clothes that fit are the clothes that you are washing because you're pregnant. Find something, you throw it on, you go to the door. It is a woman there. She asks, "Are you Tyler?" You say yes. She hands you a paper and says, "You've been served." I open the paper and it's divorce papers. You're so distraught. You don't know what's going on, why he would serve divorce papers, what happened to the point that divorce papers would be served. There was no conversation being had. You are literally a mess. You all finally have a conversation a few days later and you're like, "You know what? I need you to be honest with me. Are you messing with anybody?" And he tells you that he's been involved with a woman for the past month. Not any woman, but one of the 2 women that he was involved with in the beginning of your relationship. I'm putting all of my fingers down.
All right. That's somebody that is supposed to be Pastor Elijah McDavid's wife. Interesting. But let me play this. I'm gonna play this other video for you. Let me see here. There's this other video I saw. There you go. This one. Let's listen to this, and then we'll come back and talk. Yeah. Speak up. Speak up.
Pan itself out with the people that were. I am saddened and disheartened to have to make a video like this. I was going to allow it to pan itself out with the people that were involved, but the moment that my name came into it and screenshots were being posted with my name in it, I felt like I have to say something. I am not a mistress. I am not someone that is maintaining an inappropriate relationship with your husband or anybody for that matter. I am not somebody who wants to intervene or get in the middle of your relationship. What you should know is that this person and I dated for approximately 3 years. We started dating in June of 2021, and I also loved and cared about him. I also experienced all of the lavish trips and Michelin star restaurants, and truly feeling like somebody loved and cared about me and truly felt like I could trust him. He and I maintained a relationship for about 3 years, and we lived together and everything. It was in the spring of 2024 that I found out some devastating news that my trust was broken and that I was humiliated. At that point, like you, I also tried to see if we could figure things out and maintain the relationship. That's not necessarily something that I would recommend to anybody today, but that is my truth. We decided ultimately in about May of 2024 that we were no longer going to attempt to work on our relationship and that we would cut things off. From that point, he and I did not maintain contact the same way that we had before. We really did take a lot of space from each other. And later on that year, he started to reach back out and ask if I wanted to go to dinner or brunch, etc., and would invite myself and my friends out. During these dinners and brunches, he would offer up that he is single, that he is by himself, that if he is going on these trips, he's going by himself, he's going on his sabbatical, and he's going by himself as a single man. To my surprise, he asked me to dinner in spring of 2025 of this year and let me know that he was planning to propose to someone. And I'll be honest and let you know that I absolutely crashed out in that moment because I felt like even though we weren't together, we had built a friendship over the last few months to where we could be honest with each other. I was frustrated because I felt like I didn't have a choice and that I didn't get an option of being able to walk away knowing that he was in a relationship with someone. I literally found out that you existed on that day. And when I checked in with other people, they let me know that they had been seeing your videos for a while and just thought that I knew. And that's why no one had told me. I talked to my mentor and he let me know that he was not about to propose, that he actually had already proposed to you before he said that to me. And I confronted him again and asked him why he had lied to me. I asked him what the reason was for not telling me that you were in a relationship this entire time. And he said to me that he didn't want to lose his best friend. I also that same day asked him if you knew about me and asked if he had talked to you about our past. And he told me he didn't think that that was necessary. I was really frustrated and I expressed that to him that day, that I didn't think that it was fair for anybody to walk into a scenario as delicate as this one, considering the context, that anybody should walk into this not knowing what's going on, especially when there are plenty of other people in the congregation that know. From that point, I decided that I did not want to maintain even a platonic friendship relationship with him and that my trust had been violated again at this point. And so I stopped communication with him, eventually blocked him on my phone, blocked him on social media, etc. It was October 25th of this year, which you know is his birthday, that I received a call that was not his personal number and not his social media, reaching out to me to let me know that he had been in what you would call an altercation that ultimately left him hit by a car. Again, I'll be honest and say that I thought in that moment, frustratedly, like, this is not my problem. I should not have to show up for somebody that has broken my trust on multiple occasions. But convicted, I felt like the right thing to do was to show up for somebody that you care about. And so, no, I wasn't showing up for him as a friend. I wasn't showing up for him as somebody that was looking for anything for him, not somebody that is looking to rekindle a relationship with him. I was showing up for him as somebody who had just gotten news that he was in the hospital and had been in a car accident. And I want to be clear, he and I have maintained a strictly platonic relationship since the spring of 2024. And so while I understand that there is extreme hurt, there is extreme frustration, there was extreme disrespect that has happened throughout this situation, while I understand that this is extremely humiliating and I would not wish this situation on anybody, I also will say that is not my character to maintain a relationship with someone that is in a relationship or someone that, especially someone that is married. And so I truly hope that in all of this, that you all get what is owed to you, what is due to you. I pray that this is all worked out. However, I should not be the target for this anger. I truly do believe that it is misdirected. And to all of my friends, turned family, my community that have reached out throughout the last day and a half of everything that has been going on, for people that know the truth and know my story and know my character, that have shown up for me and supported me. Thank you for showing up for me. I really do appreciate that. And I hope that this all gets worked out, but I am not anyone's mistress. I am saddened and disheartened to have to make a video like this. I was going to allow.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So I don't have much on this story, okay? But I've seen those videos and I just wanted us to, I don't have much on it. Okay. Because nothing has been confirmed by the guy himself. His name is Pastor Elijah McDavid, and he's the pastor of a church called Fellowship Missionary Baptist Church in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So he's pretty popular out there. But these two ladies, one is apparently supposed to be his wife, the first one, and the second one was supposed to be some sort of mistaken side chick, but really there was actually a relationship, but then it became platonic, but she wasn't sure. But I'll let you guys piece everything else together, okay? I'll let you, but I just want you to know, make sure you have your own personal relationship with your God. Pastors are human beings, okay, and they can commit atrocities. It doesn't have to be a wild story like Pastor Chris Okafor. It could be a simple, because they're saying this guy has now served his wife, Tyler, with divorce papers. So he's saying, you know what, I'm kind of like in love with another person, maybe, sort of, kind of. Nothing has been confirmed. I don't know. It's all allegedly, but yes, pastors can be confused too, especially if they're young. I think there's a young man still trying to figure life out. I've seen some of those as well, and it's not easy for them to navigate trying to walk a straight line as a pastor and also being, having all these options of ladies who would like to be first lady, right? It's not easy. It takes, yes, you guessed it right. It takes a certain level of self-discipline, so don't be disappointed. Yes, who said another pastor? Yes, another pastor. Yeah. Okay, it's all good. Just make sure you have your personal relationship with your God and keep working on yourself. But if you know more about this story, let me know in the comment. If you want to add some more context to it, let me know. But that's all I have to say. I see them as human beings. Okay, I see them. Now she says she's pregnant. The wife is pregnant, and he served his wife papers. I mean, that's got to be difficult. Let's move on to some other trendy stories around the world. I'll be right back. This is Ola, Man of Prestige, your favorite relationship and marriage coach. If you enjoyed this, smash that like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs it. Be a part of the Prestige family. My wife Lola and I have written 2 powerful books, Get My Marriage Back and Number One Red Flag. Yours free at manofprestige.com. For personal coaching, send me a WhatsApp request for consultation to +1 732 305 8577. Stay tuned for more. Your journey to love and prestige starts here. All right, welcome back. So apparently they're saying Regina Daniels has gotten with somebody else, and I don't know how true that is, but the media is obsessed with her now. So anytime she makes small move, they'll say, is she with somebody else already? What is going on? Everybody wants to do kind of like keep track of her and stuff like that. But in other stories, what's his name? Pastor Ned. Pastor Ned Nwoko, right, is insisting that she goes to the court. In fact, I'm looking at a report here that says, let me see, Senator Ned Nwoko responds to Regina Daniels' claim of being separated from her children. And it says, take the window of quietude for therapy. The recent post by Regina presents a version of events that is both misleading and inconsistent with long-established family practice. All right. So, but people are asking, like, I hope Paned is okay. Check on him, because they don't want her to move on so quick, like not so soon, right? It's too early for her to be moving on. Let me see here. 1 second. Let me pull this up real quick. Okay, I think they've since cleared the air. So they say she went out with this dude, some guy, some rich billionaire guy. So people start to, of course, people are starting to compare. I think people are hoping that she moves on, but people also forgot that she has children with Paned. And there's issues around custody and stuff like that. So apparently there were photos and stuff like that, videos. I don't have that video right now, so it doesn't matter. Of her hanging out with some other dude. So everybody started to speculate and say, maybe this new person. Wow. Let me tell you something. When it comes to makeup, to break up, when one of the things that people tend to say these days, both men and women alike, is that they will, you just dump and move on. Yeah, right. Is it that easy? Right? I don't care if you got into that marriage for the wrong reasons, because we tend to also bring that up a lot. Like, they got into the marriage for the wrong reason. People should tell. It doesn't matter. What? Of course, we're hoping that you do the right thing before you get with somebody else, right? But in real life, life presents itself in very interesting ways. Life will happen. Crisis will happen sometimes. Sometimes it show up in the form of small conflict. Sometimes it's not even your partner. It's just life happening, like tragedy. Stuff happens in life. Like shit happens for real in life. So of course we want you to get with the right person, but more importantly, you should be the right person. Work on being the right person. So anyway, now everybody's speculating that she's just gonna jump out of a relationship with Paned because it wasn't a fit in the first place, and then just get with this young billionaire guy. I think it's the public fantasizing about nothing. Okay, we're talking about Regina Daniels. Okay, I think the public is fantasizing about you know about what they would like to be, I guess, what looks good. But what I'm telling you is that every relationship you go in and out of will create a dent on you. I want you to write this down and, of course, take it to the bank. Every relationship you get in and out of will create a small dent on you. And that's okay. It's called living life. Okay. Because even if you don't get with somebody else, if you're going through life, right, you're going to be bruised. Events, yes, relationships, work. Like there's going to be a lot of ups and downs, and that takes a toll, right? In fact, it's what leads to the end of life itself. And that's why we're saying, in the grand scheme of things, we're talking about good health, good relationships. See, the good wealth thing, right? Most of us, we can't control that, right? The only thing you can control is your resources, management of your resources. But guess what's also part of your resources? Your relationships, right? And the good health. Those are the two things that you can say, I'm going to make sure that I work on this one. So what am I saying in essence, right? For every relationship you engage, do your best. Till today, remember I'm talking about even outside of romantic relationship right now, till today, sometimes I engage certain relationships and I'm like, that was draining. I should have heard myself. I should have listened to my inner voice. My instincts told me that this was going to be wrong. But then after I don't collect, I will, I will now back off, right? And then but what I'm trying to tell you is that try to avoid as many of those as possible. Listen to your inner voice. If something is just not sitting right or it feels abusive, back off from it, because when you go in and you come out of it, it creates a little small dent on you again. It's called, some people call it trauma, right? And then it becomes how you will continue to become part of your outlook on life and future relationships. So even if a relationship is going to be all right in the future, because you've had a bad experience, it affects your ability to trust in newer relationships. Okay, so I just wanted to point that out. It's so, I see a lot of people fantasize like, oh, you just jump out, you jump into something else. No, if it was that easy, everybody would be doing it, right? And those that are doing it, they know what it comes with a tremendous amount of baggages that you have to deal with. And the worst part about it is that you're not recognizing as baggage up front. It's later on after the damages that you now start to note. So what can you do about, hey, Duchess, good to see you. What you can do about this is to really be sensitive to the kind of people you engage, to the kind of people you surround yourself with. They said a popular Nollywood actress, let me see here. Popular Nollywood actress Regina Daniels has sparked fresh conversations online after new photos suggesting she may have moved on from her estranged husband, Senator Ned Nwoko, surfaced on social media. The images, which show Regina Daniels with a mystery young man believed by some to be her new lover, were shared by popular blogger Stella Demokokos on Instagram. In the photos, let me see if I can. Okay, I think I found a photo here. I'll share it with you guys. All right. Let's see here. Okay, I guess that's the photo right there. All right, so that's the billionaire guy, I guess. A billionaire guy. While the identity of the man was not disclosed, the pair appeared relaxed and cheerful, prompting widespread reactions from fans and followers. The viral clips immediately set social media abuzz, with many users. But I think somebody else came out, and I think the brother debunked it. Yeah, the brother debunked it. Another report that the brother debunked it. But you and I, Prestige family, we don't need debunking because it doesn't matter. The only thing I want you to get out of this is this. Pay attention to the relationships you're engaging. Of course, your romantic relationship, but every other type of relationships as well. Pay attention to the engagement. Does it feel abusive? Does it feel like should you take a step back? Should you sever the relationship? It's not always important that you just sever a relationship. If you're a blockity block, you notice that you're always blocking people. It's you. Okay, you probably have low tolerance and you're probably missing out on life. Okay, you shouldn't have to use your block. It depends, but you shouldn't have to use your blocks so often, right? But sometimes you do have to use your block buttons on your social media, on your WhatsApp. But if you notice that you need to pay attention, like how often do you have to block? If you have low tolerance around that, it's not just the blocking. There are other aspects of life that you're probably missing out on. It's something about you that has a certain level of low tolerance. Okay. Sammy West clears air on Regina Daniels' alleged romance. Punch News has actually carried it. I guess they love Regina, but here is a problem for Regina here. If the whole world loves you like this, they put you on this pedestal. Unfortunately, you'll probably fall off all the time and everybody go back to their home. Daniel shared moments. Okay, let me see here. Because they're saying there's nothing to it. As we probably suspected, right? So just pay attention to your relationships. Don't be so quick to jump in and out of relationships. It's okay to take a step back. It's okay to take care of yourself. It's okay to need some space. Okay, but Yoruba people have a saying in your life, your blessings, the greatness, right? A lot of them are going to be sourced through other people. Don't be so quick to block people. If you have an ex, you need them on your team. It will make your life easier if you get them on your team. It's very difficult to do, but it's a benefit. Just have some foresight. Just think about the future where you're free, but also the ex is okay with making your life easier. Just think about that. That's going to take some work, right? Get to work. Okay. But the worse your relationships are, the worse the quality of your life will be. Okay, just pay attention to it. But don't be so quick like the Gen Z generation, all of us, social media generation, to think that you can just jump in and out. See, we have illusion of options, right? The higher you are in terms of class in society, like a person who is popular, famous, or like Regina, or rich like Ned, the worse it gets. You have all these options, but they're not real options. You can't trust. And what benefit is it if you are in a relationship and you can't trust? You can't even sleep at night because you're always looking over your shoulder. Somebody's gonna hurt you. You can't trust. You don't know why you don't know what their motive is for coming into your life. So the higher you go, either in terms of class or fame or money or in society, the harder it is. Okay. So that means if you have all this option, everybody's in your DM. I have all these people in your DM. You're delusional, because it takes a lot more harder work, right? To convince and get you to start trusting, and in order to have the level of vulnerability you will need to have that quality in that relationship. Okay. So I hate to break it to you, there's nothing to envy about Regina Daniels and all the options that she has. Okay. All right. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. Let me see. Mario says, everybody billionaire in Nigeria. Am I not a billionaire like this? You are a billionaire. Of course you're a billionaire. All of us Nigerians are billionaires. All right. All of us are billionaires. So guess what? Nurture your relationships. Okay. Nurture your relationships. That also, you can't do that from an empty place. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. Take care of yourself so you can pour, so you're not pouring from an empty cup. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications, and I'll be right back.
This is Ola, man of prestige, your favorite relationship and marriage coach. If you enjoy this, smash that like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs it. Be a part of the Prestige family. My wife Lola and I have written 2 powerful books, Get My Marriage Back and Number One Red Flag. Yours free at manofprestige.com. For personal coaching, send me a WhatsApp request for consultation to +1 732 305 8577. Stay tuned for more. Your journey to love and prestige starts here.
All right, welcome back. Let's listen to this video from Mama Evelyn, Tamar, and Tony Braxton, the great Tony Braxton's mother. Maya says, I blocked the first family member this Christmas. Oh, so sorry. Yeah, some of them are too toxic. You need to block them or archive. It is what it is. Protect your mental health. Let's listen to this.
I lived with them for a moment. I stayed there because Tamar was pregnant, what have you. Then she wanted me to be there for the baby. She wanted me to stay there 5 years. 5 years out of my life. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah. But I stayed.
Right.
Okay, because Logan is 4 now, in the 9 months that Tamar was pregnant.
Yes.
I don't think it's a good idea. This is just my opinion. I don't think it's a good idea for parents to live with their children.
I agree.
And I'll tell you why.
Please.
You see too much, you hear too much, and you know too much. And there's certain things I think when you know, you're going to, it's really going to get to your heart.
Absolutely.
You know, and so watching Tamar being in an abusive relationship, that was very, extremely hard for me. I prayed day and night. One night I got up, I heard all of this noise. I thought the elevator was falling out of its socket. So I ran into the kitchen and I'm like, what is going on, for God's sakes? And he was abusing her. And she was trying to run, she was trying to get away. And I spoke to him about it. I said, no, this is not what we do. And he turned on me. And I'm like, So I ran back to my room, because the baby was in the bed with me. I was very much afraid for the baby because his whole
demeanor had
demeanor. And I put a chair behind the door.
So you barricaded yourself?
I barricaded myself in the room and held that baby all night long. That's no way for anyone to live, for God's sakes.
Wow. Let me see. So Ajayin Baby, Vince was doing this. Apparently Vince was. Let me play that again. Because I think she said something I feel like I missed.
I lived with them for a moment. I stayed there because Tamar was pregnant, what have you. Then she wanted me to be there for the baby. She wanted me to stay there 5 years. 5 years out of my life. That's a lot.
That's a lot. Yeah.
But I stayed.
Right.
Okay, because Logan is 4 now, in the 9 months that Tamar was pregnant.
Yes.
I don't think it's a good idea. This is just my opinion. I don't think it's a good idea for parents to live with their children.
What's a Jain Bimbe? What is that?
Please.
You see too much.
That's what you call Bimbe people? May God forgive you.
Too much. And there's certain things I think when you know, you're going to, it's really going to get to your heart.
Absolutely.
You know, and so watching Tamar being in an abusive relationship.
Okay, I heard that part.
Very, extremely hard for me. I prayed day and night. One night I got up, I heard all of this noise. I thought the elevator was falling out of its socket. So I ran into the kitchen and I'm like, what is going on, for God's sakes? And he was abusing her.
He was abusing her. What is that? Was that verbal abuse or physical abuse or emotional abuse? What type of abuse? If I have to assume it will be physical.
And she was trying to run, she was trying to get away.
She was trying to run or get away. That's physical.
I said, no, this is not what we do. And he turned on me. And I'm like, So I ran back to my room because the baby was in the bed with me.
She was trying to run away, and then she went back to her room, And Gigi Money says, I don't know. She barricaded herself indoors all night and didn't think to call emergency services. Yeah, even the child would have called emergency service. That's an interesting way to see it. But let's keep going.
I was very much afraid for the baby because his whole
Demeanor had
oh
changed.
my God, demeanor. And
Hmm.
I put a chair behind the door.
So you barricaded yourself.
Where's the daughter? Where did you leave your daughter when she did it? Okay.
Barricaded
It's probably a stupid question. But we're asking, where's the daughter when you barricaded yourself inside the room?
myself in the room and held that baby all night long. That's
Hmm.
no way for anyone to live, for God's sakes.
All right, gentlemen, let me speak to you for a second. See that stupid question I just asked? You don't have that luxury. Don't put yourself in that position to have to ask that question. Try your best. If you're there, just know that whatever story she's telling right now, that's the story. That's what she saw. It is what it is. The rest of it is stupid question. Don't put yourself in that position. But the real reason why I pulled this up is honestly to highlight the fact that it is true that you will see too much. I'm talking to all the mama boys. Mama boys, your child is now married and you saw up and down, it will never be you. You will never do anything you will never do anything that your own mother-in-law did to you, to your children. You never see anything. You know what? Maybe don't go and live with them. Don't go and do extended stay with them.
They use your function to play.
Don't do it, okay? Because it is true, you will see a lot. In fact, let me read this to you. When a parent, an adult child, and that child's spouse live together, the parent inevitably sees. Hold on 1 second. Okay, yeah. Inevitably sees much more than they would in a separate living arrangement. This dynamic shift from a relationship of visit to a relationship of observation, which can lead to friction if not managed carefully. And it can also lead to a person telling the side of the story that you don't remember. And then you find yourself in a place of shalaye, that's not what happened. Why is she lying? You're not having to explain yourself.
Explain, because no evidence.
No evidence. Okay? Because, hey, now, is it better for her to be there so that she doesn't run into the other room while our child is being supposedly battered? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Bottom line is that it's just all bad. Okay. But the main point today is that yes, you will see too much. Okay. Number one, the micro observations of daily life. Living together exposes the private reality of a marriage that outsiders, even close family, typically don't see. Your best friends don't know what is. We don't know what is going on inside our marriage. It seems like this thing is repeating itself again for the third time today. We don't know what we don't know. Well, shouldn't we just go and live with them so we don't know? No, it's a lot more complicated than that. Okay. Conflict resolution. Parents overhear disagreement. While a couple might resolve a fight and move on, a parent may hold on to the offense on behalf of their child, leading to long-term resentment towards the spouse. So they have since divorced, and this woman is still telling this story on a TV show while so she's actually not supposed to be telling this Tamar's story. She should be respectful for the sake of their Tamar's son and not tell this kind of story that people can interpret in 2,000 different ways, right? Against Vince. Anyway, but she's telling it. Can we stop her? We can't control her. That's why I said control what you can control, leave the rest. Then also a parent might judge how the couple splits chores. I'm washing plates inside my own sink in my house. And then my mother goes back home and tells her friend that I'm washing pata. That's real. Okay, that's real. And I know it wasn't really pata, it was some type of pata that looked like pata instead of a kitchen sink. Or what? You go shalaye, tired. Am I saying you shouldn't bring your parents?
You go explain, because no evidence.
I'm not saying you shouldn't bring your parents. I'm saying you should prepare to mitigate. There's going to be, it carries risk. Okay, you should be self-aware that carries certain risk, and it's not about people are just straight up evil. If you look at it from that angle, you'll miss out. You won't fix the proper. You'll be fixing the wrong problem. You'll be fixing the fact that humans are evil as opposed to humans are relational beings, and you have to learn how to manage that, right? From groceries choices to delivery packages, parents observe the couple's spending in real time, which can lead to unsolicited advice or judgment. Okay. So adult children often subconsciously regress to childhood roles when living with parents. So you live with your parent, but you forgot that you're married. There's certain things that will subconsciously happen. No, I'm not expecting you to admit to it. Okay. I'm not. It's not something you get to say, oh, well, I know myself. No, you're not talking to me, because probably I'm not talking to you either. I'm talking to people that are willing to look at the possibility that, yes, subconsciously I might do things that are not necessarily intentional. Those are the people I'm looking to talk to. The spouse may feel like a guest in their own home, the other spouse. Yes, it's a real thing. Okay. Am I saying you shouldn't welcome your parents? No. Am I saying you shouldn't go and do omugo? No. I'm saying have some self-awareness. Stop thinking about everything from a standpoint of right and wrong. That's why you create problems for your loved ones unintentionally. If the couple has children, the parent often sees too much of the discipline or routine, or may intervene, undermining the parent's authority. Okay, what about privacy versus secrecy? All right, shared kitchens and living rooms mean the couple rarely has neutral ground to just be themselves. The couple may stop discussing certain topics because they don't want the parent to overhear or worry, which can lead to a child. Well, if nothing's wrong with what you're saying, why can't you just share it? You see, look at that kind of question. All right. I say sometimes I feel bad for not allowing my mom stay, but it is for the best. Yes, if she has options and you have options, just dear, small. Stay a few days, and go back home to your husband. Hopefully, the husband is still alive, right? Go back to your life, do your life. It's okay, but the key thing is really some people don't really have the choice. Maybe the person is incapacitated and they have to kind of stay with one of their children, and you've chosen that. That's fine, but be self-aware. Know that this is not about you being I know myself. That's the point. We're not talking about yourself. You don't live in a cave. You live with other human beings, right? So that's going to come with its own risk, and you should prepare. You take the time and come up with ways to mitigate against the risk that I've just mentioned right now. The one thing I'm going to tell you right now, you must maintain a united front with your significant other. That loyalty must, even when they're wrong. Remember that story I just talked about here, where Jamal Bryant was defending his wife, even when the wife is wrong. When you're coming from that same household, make sure that you understand priority. The priority here is to maintain that united front. Everything else comes secondary. Yes, including telling the truth, whatever you mean by the truth, including that. Okay, Papa can't see or unhear your husband needs are more. Yeah, there's things like that. There are things like that. But hey, just a lot of it is self-awareness. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Do me a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe, to support the platform. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you are notified whenever we go live. I'll be back very, very soon. Cheers.
This is Ola, Man of Prestige, your favorite relationship and marriage coach. If you enjoyed this, smash that like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs it. Be a part of the Prestige family. My wife Lola and I have written 2 powerful books, Get My Marriage Back and Number 1 Red Flag, yours free at manofprestige.com. For personal coaching, send me a WhatsApp request for consultation to +1 732 305 8577. Stay tuned for more. Your journey to love and prestige starts here.